Zillow has the latest report on some of the freakiest stuff happening in the real estate market. Now, if you guys think major cities in the US have prices already slashed, well, wait till you see this, because when rents go down and when landlords offer you crazy concessions, you know that it is a true housing bubble that's about to crash, right? Airbnb properties are foreclosing, not just in the US, but apparently even Canada as well. And we're seeing many new construction properties hitting the markets and nobody's buying them. Developers are a little panicky, interest rates are very high, and they want to sell as many of these units at a discounted price as possible. So check this latest Zillow reports. Renters are offering crazy concessions as market stabilizes. Rents are still rising a little bit in certain cities, but now landlords and property managers are offering crazy incentives to sweeten the deal and get tenants to their location. Now, here's the thing. If rents are rising and also it's in super big demand, there will be zero concessions. In fact, they'll probably ask you for a higher security deposit and maybe even no pets. But now, with the rental market cooling like it is and over construction, and like I said, even Airbnb properties are coming on the market as long-term rentals because they can't find tenants, landlords are like, okay, let's offer some incentives. So if we look at this, renters are seeing more concessions they have in more than 2 years, with about a third of all the rental listings in the US offering at least one type of concession, some offering even crazier types of concessions. And if you look at this, 43 of the 50 biggest markets in the US for rentals, which are going to be your biggest coastal cities, have a lot more rental concessions than last year. Concessions are rising, especially markets where multifamily construction is booming. And just in like a couple months ago, I made a video talking about how there was a Twitter user saying 1 to 2 million homes being built in the next couple years. That is a true statement, because if you look at guys like Oakland, cities like these have rents falling 7.2% in just a few months. Why? Because one, the population isn't increasing. In fact, some places in Oakland are decreasing. We all know Oakland, the place where there's the highest amount of car break-ins. Crime is crazy high. Why would you live here, right? And a lot of tech companies are just leaving Oakland in general or moving online. And Oakland just overbuilt apartments, which essentially crashed the rental market. And Oakland is offering you some of the craziest concessions. And I think even some of them offer you guys like free grocery gift cards and stuff, which is wild. But just remember, Oakland prices fell fast. They are on their knees and they can't take it anymore. 7% drop in rent in just a few months. That is nothing to scoff at. This absolutely destroyed many landlords, and many properties went into foreclosure because of that. And now we're seeing a lot of landlords offering free rent. In fact, there's even some buildings, if you sign like a 12-month lease, they'll give you 1 month free. If you sign a 2-year lease, it'll be like 3 months free. I've seen a lot of those. On top of that, some of them even offer you free internet. If you have pets, it'll be like free of no charge. And some of you offer you gift cards as a sign-up bonus if you do like even like a short-term rent, like 6-8 months. People even do that. So there seems to be a lot of concessions recently, and a lot of these concessions are actually pretty nice, right? If you could find the right landlord, find the right forum to talk about, concessions from these big corporations, you could save a lot of money, right? Some offer moving assistance. Most of them do offer a rent reduction, but a lot of them just offer you straight up free rent. Like also, if you renew your lease in our location, we'll give you like 1 or 2 months free. We'll maybe even reduce your security deposit, stuff like that. These are all very enticing offers that we did not see during the pandemic. At the height of the real estate bubble, there are no concessions. In fact, you are going to be paying a crap load of rent, but now major cities are offering some of the lowest rents ever. And if you go to places like San Francisco, Seattle, Los Angeles, you're going to be getting some fat concessions that will definitely sweeten the pie for you. And check this out. So you also have home prices falling in many parts of Southern California. And Southern California, they're not really seeing much release, right? There seems to be a mass decline in price. But there's some really dangerous California cities that are on the brink of collapse. And one of them is going to be, the Bay Area, right? Especially San Jose and especially San Francisco and Oakland. Those 3 cities are really dropping in price in terms of also rent. Los Angeles is kind of iffy, but we're actually seeing LA rents come down in certain places, and also real estate prices offering crazy concessions as well. Same thing in places like San Diego, but the worst has to be San Jose, guys. Like if you look at the downtown, it's completely empty. San Jose has zero new construction right now. There's not a single developer willing to go to downtown San Jose and build condos and apartments. They're just not. And there's still like this apartment complex recently built in San Jose offering people like $2,900 for a 1 bedroom a month. Obviously, nobody's taking the bait, and now they're offering some pretty crazy concessions. So if you look at Oakland, same thing. Overbuildings, too many multifamily units, rents drop so much, like 7% in a few months. It's super drastic. If you're pretty new to the real estate market, you may be like 7% isn't much, but 7% drop in rentals will pretty much take out like a large chunk of landlords. Same thing with San Francisco. You even have like the super popular building Nema, which is basically half empty. And the valuations by the banks actually place it from over $500 million of value for the building back in 2018. Now the value is 50% off at around $270 million. This is a very nice building, apartments, right? Now the valuation gets cut in half, and it's right next to XHQ. It's next to Uber, Lyft, and some of the biggest startups. And now if you look across the corner and see this newly built skyscraper, I guarantee you those guys are pretty freaked out as well. They're like, we just recently built this, and you're telling me our neighbor dropped 50% in value? What about our value? It's probably super low as well. So you're seeing like whole skyscrapers going for cheap. You probably have also heard on the news where like major cities are selling office towers for like 50% off. Yes, that's the real thing, and it's still happening. Now, just to make the rental situation even worse, so you have an inflow of new construction, but now you also have a lot of empty offices, which the Biden administration is already pushing guidelines to encourage and even incentivize commercial to residential conversions. So if you guys thought an oversupply of rentals is already dropping the value of rents and housing values essentially, get ready for commercial to residential conversions. One of the biggest commercial to residential conversions is happening on Wall Street in New York City. They're doing like over 1,000 apartments from a very ugly looking office building. So there you go. That's another thing. And cities are actually incentivizing this, right? San Francisco is doing it. San Jose trying to do it. You're seeing places in Seattle trying to do it, and especially New York City to go nuts over it. A lot of offices are being turned to residentials, and these offices are not small. They're enormous buildings, and just a simple office like this could pretty much pump out like almost 100 units of studios and 1 bedrooms. So for all the cities, who are already dropping in price and dropping in rents, and now you got this, it's just a double 1-2 punch in the landlord's face. And this is great for renters, right? Renters like this kind of stuff. I'm sure a lot of you guys are renters and you guys want cheaper rents. And next time, if you're trying to go for a new apartment complex, or if you're moving out of the state to another major city, definitely ask around online in different forums for concessions, because many of these units do offer some of the craziest deals I've ever seen. Like recently, there's a college campus. They're even offering incentives. Like if you sign the lease again for next semester, they'll offer you like free internet or like another month free. These are some really enticing offers that's happening nationwide. And guess what? Zillow is reporting that this is going to be causing a pretty big problem. A lot of people who bought units a few years ago, they're not really making as much money as before. Thanks for watching, guys. Comment below and see you later.